Hello, Diecast race fans. It's Simo here at Diecast Racing News. Welcome to the pilot episode. Firstly, a big thank you to everybody over at Redline Derby Racing, where this idea was first proposed, and all the interactions that we've had with everybody. It's been really fantastic, and things have snowballed since then. Not only are we putting content together for the pilot episode, we've got news crews at 2 tracks already. So we've got one over at Goat Hill, and we've also got one over at Dutch Clutch Dragway. So Dutch Clutch, Dr. Dodge over at Goat Hill, thank you so much for the news vans over there. We're pushing our teams over as fast as possible so we can get the racing reports to all the people that are tuning in. So it's been a really fantastic response. So what we're going to do is we're going to dive straight into some of the race reports where we've been given permission to use content. We're just going to have a look at recent events that have unfolded in the diecast racing world. And it's over at Goat Hill where we've got our team stationed, and we're looking at the highlights from races 1 to 9. And first up, we're looking at Midnight Smiler and his full pull to the top of the track. Now, look at this takeoff, straight up the ramp, pulling, and then straight to the top. It was a fantastic run there. And then we've got a flip from Dutch Clutch. So we like the flips at Goat Hill. They're exciting. Watch this. Hits the ramp, hits the bump, spins. Brilliant recovery there. Just parks it up nicely. Little roll down the hill from the competitor. Driver's Deviants also featured in the highlight reel, and they got a full pull up the hill. And watch this as they just drag themselves up. Look at that. Pulling to the top. Fantastic drive that. Now in this one with Crazy Frank, we have a flip and a roll. So there's the roll and there's the flip. And one's car's on the roof, Crazy Frank staying upright. Mud Duck Hog Control, that's not easy to say. Here they come with a flip from the highlight reel. Look at that, hits the bump, spinning over, and then nicely pucked up. A danger warning here for holder of the horns. There's a flip, but watch what happens afterwards as they come up the hill. So you see them coming up, and a child seems to have fallen out of the car and rolling back. Oh, we've heard that there's no injuries caused during that incident. Next up on highlight reel, we've got Cactus Jack with a full pull, but watch the competitor as well on this run up the hill. There's some action going on in this race. So here they come, and you'll see the wheelie on the left, and then the full pull from Cactus Jack straight up the top of the hill. Now it was an action-packed run, that was. Shining Meteor Racing with the full pull coming up Goat Hill. Let's watch this little bit of action here. Look at that, bouncing straight over the top. And a second appearance on the highlight reel from Midnight Smiler with a flip bonus. So let's watch this coming up the hill. And look at that, brilliant recovery and just a little roll back, nicely parked up. So those were the highlights from races 1 to 9, live from Goat Hill, thanks to Dr. Dodge. And now we go over to where our other news team is stationed at the Dutch Clutch Dragway for some drag racing action. And over at Dutch Clutch, it was a story of record breaking. Blue Line Racing in lane 2 setting a new track record of 1748 in the first round, but there was more to come on that record breaking car. It was Chase Family and Uncle Elvis in the first semi-final. Chase Family took the first race, then took the second race for a really quick time, and then it was down to Feral Patrick and Blue Line Racing. And for the second time in that night, it was Blue Line Racing in his first race that set a 1747 new track record. And then in the first race of the final, Blue Line Racing against Chase Family, and it was from here that Blue Line Racing for the third time set a new track record in the first race. So for all of the racing action, head over to Dutch Clutch Racing and you can catch up with all the racing that night from the Maniacs Mustang Roundup modified class, and some absolutely fantastic action on the track that night. Our next action comes from the All-Star Modified Edition NASCAR racing over at Charlotte's Motor Speedway, courtesy of HSL Diecast. Now, I'm having a look at this leading up to Diecast Racing News pilot episode, and I was just hooked. This All-Star race, I mean, you've got everything. You've got lead changes, you've got crashes, you've got bumper-to-bumper drafting, overtaking, being pushed off the track. This was really fun to watch, and I really enjoyed the series. We're just showing you a few clips here, but head over to HSL Diecast Racing, catch up on this All-Star race, because it was really entertaining racing and really great action. So head over to HSL Diecast Racing for the NASCAR Nitro All-Star Modified Edition. So it's over to 3D Botmaker and the Tournament 4 finals, where the top 4 seeds were appearing from this tournament. Hades, Jack, Strong Solo and Teddy Davis. Big Air Dylan was making an appearance at half time, the DRC champion. That came with a bit of a surprise, and it was Jack who started out the first 2 races in dominant fashion, just leaving everybody in his wake. Then the half-time interval came, which, as I said, brought a surprise, but it was the last 2 races of the Tournament 4 finals where you didn't expect it to happen, but it happened. Chaos and mayhem. Would you expect anything less from King of the Mountain? What they also announced was on this show was the return of the DRC, but it's going to be the DRCX, which is a Diecast Rallycross. Sorry. And you can catch all the action, as you know, over at 3D Botmaker. So go and check that out. And now it's time to head over to Chaos Canyon and the Gravity Chaos Special Stage Round 2, and some wild action on this circuit. So let's check out some of the action. And it was action in race 2 between Scott Spogan and Mr. Dark. So Mr. Dark had won the first race, and in his second race just went off into a commanding lead, leaving Scott Spogan trailing behind. It looked like it was going to be a second win on the trot for Mr. Dark. Coming round, look at that lead, opened up, going into the third lap, everything in control. But then it was the last lap where it just went all wrong. Watch this. And he just doesn't come out the other side. Scott Spogan scooting through and goes on to take the win. And it would go to a race 3. Next up was Big Cat going up against Marco Polo, and this was just a phenomenal race. I'm just going to let the gents take you through this one.
But life isn't all beer and skittles after he ended up being the bridesmaid after leaving the competition for so long, and I just wonder if he's going to let that get to him this time round.
No, I'm sure he's got his nerves under control. But here we go into the halfway point, and these boys are really close. Big Cat only just with the lead, a 19.263 time, so a long way off the pace of the others as we come around and into the final lap. And this, Big Cat gets up on the side of the track, that slows him down. Marco Polo now trying to get around the outside. This is going to be super close. It is neck and neck all the way to the finish.
Crikey!
And no one knows who took that out.
I cannot believe how close that was. As we go to the replay, as they come down, that's too close.
To find out how that turned out, along with all the other races for special stage round 2, head over to Chaos Canyon. There was some wild action on that racetrack, really entertaining. Now it's time for the news desk segment, and we'll try and do this every week, bringing you some updates, news, reported from the track. So we're going to have Cole Striker at the Zamak Dragway, bringing us reports from there. And as you saw earlier, we've got 2 vans set up at Goat Hill and Dutch Clutch Dragway, but we're also hearing about vans being deployed at other circuits around the Diecast universe. So we'll keep you updated as and when those news teams are sent out. Breaking news from Dutch Clutch Dragway, early hours of the morning. There was a dog quake. The owners of the track were woken up by the loud sounds of the dog barking. There has been minimal damage. One person has been woken up. No other casualties reported. Emergency services are on scene. The track seems to have been left unscathed, so they will be ready to go racing. But we'll keep you updated on that as we get further news. The dog still hasn't been found yet, but if you go to their latest video, you can hear it in the background. So this is news as it's breaking.
If the plan doesn't work, change the plan, but never the goal.
Abby Normal will be writing some articles for us on the blog. Yet to be confirmed what sort of articles is going to go on there. We're still in the discussion stage, but there's going to be some articles going on the blog. Talking about the blog, we're going to have our first interview because it's been arranged, and we're going to have that with Sunshine City Garage. It's going to be a little segment where we get to know people in the diecast universe, any tournaments they hold, any races they enter, a little bit about them. The format's yet to be confirmed, but there used to be a segment I used to do some time ago in motor racing, which was a quick 10 with, and that could be a possibility for the format on that, but we'll bring that to you on the blog as soon as the interview's done. And talking about diecast racing news, if you go on to our Substack blog, at the top there's a list of pages, and there's one that says channel form or channel directory. If you go on there, fill in the form, and you can send us your league across and give us permission to have a look and grab some news from your league or tournaments. And any news submissions you want to send us for the news desk, email that over to dracingnews, that's dracingnews@gmail.com. And just a little bit of a shameless plug here. The Gauntlet series, which is a series that I initially wanted to set up myself, but it's been put back a bit to get track and get everything set up. The foundations are down, but we will be sorting the Gauntlet series out at some point. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is just for a bit of fun for myself, really, and if anybody wants to tune in, and that'll be over at the Gauntlet series channel, is we're going to use some wood and some cardboard, and we're going to have car jumping. Think ski jumping, but car jumping. And we'll go distances, and we'll have bonus points, and that's the initial idea, just to keep me active whilst the actual racetrack's going to come together, and this diecast racing news will also keep me active. So yeah, stay tuned on that, and apologies for the shameless plug there, but a massive thank you to everybody who's interacted with us, whether that's by email, whether that's over at Redline Derby Racing. Really hope you liked the first pilot episode. We tried to get as much in as we could from the permissions that we had. We hope to just get maybe better moving forward. Announcing and presenting isn't my area of expertise, but I'm picking up some hints and tips from all you people out there. So that's it from the pilot episode for Diecast Racing News. We hope you enjoyed it. We're going to go towards episode 1, and we'll try and get some more race reports and some more news for you. Thanks for tuning in.